What's going on? So, I think I figured out a workaround on this camera not autofocusing really fast. I mean, especially like in circumstances like this where it's low light and all that. If I zoom in and then I zoom back out, usually it'll stay focused pretty decently. The what I wanted to talk about in this video is just put my phone on silent first, because chances are you get some kind of message or email or something. So that's out of the way. But I had the chance the other day to listen to a speaker, and they're talking about different art forms and stuff. And basically, this person was trying to imitate other people's style, and I think that happens to a lot of us. You know, we want to get into photography or videography or blogging or vlogging or painting, sculpting, whatever. And we look and we say, oh, this person that's in this field is really good. I want to be like them. And I think a lot of people kind of, you know, I guess get discouraged when they're trying to imitate this person and they can't do it. I saw a while back this a photographer was talking about if you go on like a not like a photo walk, but if you go on like a guided photography thing, like you go to some place and you go out with a photography group, and there's somebody out there, and say maybe it's maybe they're referring to like a class or something. I'd have to go back and find the video and see exactly what they were talking about, but they're basically saying, this photographer who's leading everybody around can bring everybody to this one spot in this you know walk or class or whatever, and put everybody out on this little outlook or whatever, and the photographer knows where you need to focus at, what you need to focus, where you need to set your focus point. They know what aperture is best. They know the shutter speed for they know that area, and they know how to get a good photo there. And I think too many times a lot of people kind of try and imitate somebody else instead of just doing their own style. You see, say, something as simple as posting stuff on Instagram, or having a photo feed on Instagram or whatever. You know, you have your favorite food photographer, and you like the style that they do, so you keep trying to imitate that. But at the end of it, it's like, yeah, I may like food photography, and I may subscribe to them, but I don't want to see every. I want to see, you know, different angles on the food. Maybe, you know, it's just one of those things. Find your spot. I mean, it's good to, you know, learn. You got to learn the basics, and someone who's really good. It gives you a point that that you to strive for, I guess. But don't. You got to remember, no matter what person, whatever creative or whatever you're following, they're going to be critical of their work. If you look at photography, as soon as they take a photo, they may love the photo. They may share it out there, put it out in the world, sell hundreds of prints of it, you know, get thousands of likes, everybody's sharing the photo all around, or whatever the piece is that they've created. But they'll look at that photo a month from then and say, oh, I can't believe I let that photo out there. I can't believe I shared that photo with the world. you know, this right here, I didn't even see that there was this problem in the photo. I didn't see that, you know, and that's the thing. It's like nobody else saw that, or maybe they did, and it's just like, hey, it's such a small thing. You know, the rest of the piece is great. You know, you're gonna be your hardest critic, and I think we all kind of have to realize that is like, you know, you may look at one, you know, like especially if you're involved in, like, you know, somebody might look at a photographer and say, oh, I really appreciate this person's style and their work, you know, and you know, just because they like it doesn't mean that you're necessarily gonna like it too. You know, I've had that before where it's like, you know, it's one of those things like I'm not gonna take and go out there and say, you know, oh, I can't stand that style of photography. You know, I can't stand their pictures. You know, that's their style. You know, it it's one of those things. You know, just realize you're gonna be your harshest critic, and you know now we're in a digital age, so you go out there and you want to take hundreds of photos. It You know, it's not costing anything to take hundreds of photos, just time really. You know, it'll drain your batteries, but you know that's whatever it is. And the camera lost focus. Whatever. Um, it's probably also it's kind of really humid this morning, so windshield's pretty foggy. But yeah, so I just like these videos. You know, I put them up there. I mean, I do it because I enjoy it. You know, it's people may say why do you pick the format you do? You know, you just turn the camera on and talk. You know, it's the style I've decided to go with. Um, you know, like my photography. You know why? You know, I may take pictures. I take pictures of kind of like obscure things that I see. You know, go for a walk at the dog park, and I might take a picture of, you know, the bin, you know, for getting rid of the dog waste. You know, I may take a picture of the, you know, just, you know, whatever I see that I'm like, hey, you know, that's kind of cool. You know, the wind blowing the trail of bags, and when somebody pulled a bag, you know, for, you know, because they're all connected in a chain in there. You know, they pulled a bag, and you know, 10 other ones are flapping in the breeze. You know, so I may take a picture of that, or you know, a wide angle shot of, you know, everybody running around. You know, and that's why I like the X100F is, you know, it's you either get closer to your subject, you crop and post, or you're taking a photo at that distance. You know, it eliminates that stand in one spot and just, you know, zoom in a whole bunch. You know, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, someone may look at my images and they may say, "Why'd you take that? I wouldn't have done that." And it's like, well, that's exactly why. You know, it's my photography. You know, you can pick up a camera and you can take pictures too. You know, and you may photograph stuff that I completely wouldn't have photographed. So, or you may have photographed the same thing, but you may have photographed it differently. So, you know, I guess the whole point of this is just, you know, don't get so locked into, you know, I want my images to look like this person. You know, you're not that person. You know, it's all right to say, hey, does anybody know, you know, how did they get, you know, the colors of the sky to be so pronounced? You know, and this not as pronounced? Or how did they get the reflection on the water so clear and crisp? You know, that's the questions I like to ask. Not, hey, how'd you get that picture? You know, I don't want to imitate your picture. I don't, you know, your picture's nice. That's why I like the the style. But I don't want to go out to lake whatever or bayou whatever and take that picture. You know, that's if I wanted that picture, I'll pay you for it. You know, I want my picture where I want my picture. You know, so anyway, don't get discouraged because your stuff isn't at the level of whatever. You know, just have your style, enjoy your style, because you're gonna develop an audience based on people that like your style, and then you'll have the people. How did you do that? I want to know exactly what exactly were your settings. You know, how exactly if you're a drummer, how exactly do you do that? Or guitar, anything, writing, painting, develop your style, whether people say, hey, I don't like, people may not like your style, but then there may be people that like your style. Not everybody likes classic music. Not everybody likes, country music. But there's people that do, and that's the wonderful thing about this world is just because you can like music, but you don't have to like all music. You can appreciate photography, but you don't have to like all photography. So, you know, find find what you like to do and do it to the best of your abilities. So, thanks for watching.